Welcome to the stats activity exercise that I want to talk to you about regarding how to use Excel. We've looked at a set of data and we've said that the descriptive statistics that go along with that are the mean, the median, the mode, the range, the standard deviation, and the variance. So I just want to go over how to find each of those with a set of data. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my set of data and I'm going to order it. So I'm going to click on sort and then click on smallest to largest so that it's in order. Okay, now it didn't do anything there because the data is already in order, but if it weren't, that would put it in order from smallest to largest. The reason we want to do that is because we want to be able to find the median. The median is the number that goes right in the middle of the data set. So if you look at how to find that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and ask Excel to just count. So I'm going to set equals and then type in the word count. And I'm going to ask it to count how many pieces of data are in here. So that count function counts how many numbers there are, and there's 17. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I want to find the middle number of that. So I'm going to say add 1 to that count and divide by 2, and that will give me the number that I'm looking for. Okay, the middle number. So it'll tell me which number I'm looking for. It won't tell me what the value of the number is, but it'll tell me which number I'm looking for. So we count them all up, add 1, and divide by 2. And it tells me I'm looking for the 9th number. So then I just go to the 9th number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 9th number is 21. So my median is 21. I'm going to put that in bold just to delineate that it's the actual value. Okay. So you can use this formula for any median. You take the total number, which is this count function in Excel, and then add 1 and divide by 2, and that'll tell you the middle number. All right. And then you just have to find out what it is. For the mode, you're just looking for the most frequently occurring number. So in this case, I notice there's 2 31s, there's 2 9s, and there's 2 4s. So that one, there's actually 3 modes. There are 3 numbers that occur the most frequently. Okay, 4, 9, and 31. Then we're looking for the mean. And to find the mean, we're just going to hit equals because that tells Excel we're putting in a formula. And then we're going to type average. Okay, and as you type, I don't have to type the whole word. You will see average pop up. So I'll double click on that. And then I'm just going to drag down through all of the numbers. Okay, and hit enter. So I just drag down and it says from A6 to A22. So it's taking A6, which is this guy, all the way down to A22, which is this guy, which is what I want. And it will tell me the average. Okay. Now, you might not need all those decimal places. So you can format that cell. You can right click on it and then click format cells. And you can change it. Right now, it's a general category, but you can click on number, you can make it a number, and then you can assign how many decimal places you want. So I'm going to leave it at 2, and that'll just give me the mean is 2 decimal places. Okay. Then the range, what we're going to do with the range is we are going to ask it to take the biggest number in my data set, which is the last number because I've sorted it from smallest to largest. So this is the biggest number, 35. So I just click on that cell. I hit equals first always, and then I hit that cell minus the smallest number, which is the first number. Okay, so in my case, it says A22 minus A6, and I hit enter, and that tells me my range. The range is just biggest number minus smallest number. Then I want the standard deviation. So to find the standard deviation, what I can do is I can say, I want hit equals, and then I want standard deviation. So I start typing standard, so ST, and they pop up. So there's STDEV. That's the standard deviation. You'll notice there's 2. There's population and sample. We're going to use population because we're going to assume we have all of the data, the whole population. So I'm going to double click on that, and then again, just drag down and hit enter. And that gives me my standard deviation. Okay, and if I hit bold just to make sure that it looks the same as the other ones, and then right click again and format the cell and change it to number. And I again want 2 decimal places. Okay, so there's my standard deviation. And then we're going to do the same thing for the variance. Now the variance and the standard deviation are related. The variance is just the square of the standard deviation. So you can take and just say, take the standard deviation and then hit Shift 6. That gives you the little exponent symbol. And then, whoops, not 6, 2. I want to square it. And I hit Enter. And that tells me my variance. Okay. What you'll notice, though, is it gives me a huge number of decimal places again. So I right-click, format the cell, and change it to a number with 2 decimal places instead of 13. Okay, and there's my variance. The other option, so it's 94.17 that way, the other option is to hit equals and actually start typing variance. And you will see it pops up, VARP, that's the variance of the population. Double click on that, drag all the data, and it will tell me my variance that way. And if I take this and right click again, format it, and call it a number with 2 decimal places, then it gives me exactly the same value. So there's 2 ways to find the variance. Okay? And the nice thing about Excel is that it can do that with any set of data. So I've got 3 sets of data here. So I'm just going to take this. Okay, I'm not going to do anything that's not a formula. So the median and the mode aren't formulas. So I'm not going to copy them. But if I right click, so grab these 4, the range, standard deviation, and the variance, copy, and paste it here, it will copy the formula for me. All right, and it will change the formula to, you'll notice, the F values, but it takes the smallest minus the largest for the range. It will change the standard deviation to F now, and it will change the variance to J. In other words, it will take that standard deviation, square it, or change these to F again. So it just copies the formula, and based on where it is, it takes the same position as the other one. So if I copy this again and paste it here, it will tell me that value for the third one. I can do the same thing with the mean. So I can copy it and I can paste it here and here. And then for the mode and the median, I can copy this formula. So it'll tell me where the middle number is. And since they all have the same sets, they're all 17 numbers, then the 9th number is what I'm looking for. So the 9th number here is 18. So I would put 18 in there. And the 9th number here is 14. So the median becomes 14. And the mode is not a formula. The mode is just the most frequently occurring number. So we just look. So in this data set, 30 is there 3 times. And it looks like nothing else is there 3 times. So I'm going to bold that as my answer. And then here, I've got 14 3 times in this data set. So I have 14 there. All right. So that's how you find the mean, median, mode, range, standard deviation, and variance with a set of data. Okay, so I'm just going to make up a set of data and we're going to go through it one more time. I'm just going to call this data set, whoop, not data det, and we'll just make up a series of random numbers. Okay, there's a bunch of random numbers. So again, we're going to try to go through what I'd encourage you to do is pause this video and try to do what I just did with the other ones to see if you can follow through with it. All right, but I'm going to just copy this breakdown so we can find the mean, median, and mode, and then the range and standard deviation and variance. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this over. So the first thing I'm going to do, take all of my data and I'm going to sort it smallest to largest. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Then I'm going to just look at them and see what the most frequently occurring number is. It looks like there's 3 15s and 3 23s. So the mode is 15 and 23. They're tied because they both occur 3 times. Then I look at the median, and the median, what I'm going to do again is I'm going to ask it to count. I'm going to put a bracket first because I'm going to add 1, but I'm going to ask it to count all of these numbers. I don't even know how many there are. I didn't count myself. I'm going to count, and then I'm going to add 1, and then I'm going to take that whole thing and divide by 2, and it's going to tell me which number I need. Now you notice it says 10.5, so we don't really have a 10.5 number. So what we do is we look at the 10th number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th number is 16. Just highlight that. And the 11th number is 17. So I want the 10.5 number. So that means I want the number that's the average of 16 and 17. So halfway from 16 to 17 would be 16.5. So the median is 16.5. And then I want the mean. So the mean we're just going to say is the average. So I start typing average, double click on that, and just drag down. And I get 17.25. Then I want the range. So again, the range is we hit equals, and then we take the biggest number and subtract the smallest number. Okay, and in this case, the range is 33. The standard deviation, I hit equals, start typing standard deviation. I use the population one, so I double click on that, roll through the data, and hit enter. And then the variance, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go variance, so VAR equals VAR, and then the variance of the population. And I'm going to scroll through and hit enter. I don't like the fact that these two numbers are not nice numbers. They got a bunch of decimal places, so I'm going to grab them, right click on format cells, and ask it to make them numbers that have 2 decimal places. Okay, and then I'm going to hit bold, and there's all my breakdown. So that's how you use Excel to find all these things.